You really wouldn't expect a movie that involves just walking to be that gripping. But The Long Walk takes that simple concept and turns it into something completely devastating. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kill the Credits. I'm Keelan, and today we're going to be diving into my spoiler-free review of The Long Walk. Now, this might sound strange, but this is a horror movie that's pretty much just about walking. That's it. Just people walking the whole time. But don't let that fool you. What unfolds is one of the most grueling, emotional, and oddly beautiful horror experiences that I've had this year. One of the things I really appreciate about The Long Walk is how stripped down it is. There's no constant barrage of jump scares, no crazy set pieces, and no over-the-top spectacle. Instead, it traps you with the characters and forces you to sit with them. And because of that, you actually feel the time pass. You feel the exhaustion. You feel the weight of each step.
Art thou feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
And in that sense, it's almost like the audience is walking right alongside them. And I feel like that's what gives the movie its power. The simplicity becomes suffocating. And this movie has a pretty large cast, and I feel like oftentimes when you have a big cast, a lot of the characters kind of fade into the background. They're just there to fill the space until the story's ready to get rid of them. And there's a little bit of that in this movie, but for the most part, there are a lot of standout characters. A lot of them feel very fleshed out. You get a glimpse of who they are, what drives them, and those little bits are enough to make you care. There are a lot of great performances in this movie, a lot of emotional anchors, a lot of characters that you can really resonate with for different reasons, which makes it really interesting. But the one character that I want to highlight is Pete. And I want to praise the actor David Johnson that played him. He brought such an authenticity to the role that really made him stand out. His performance really made you gravitate towards him in practically every scene that he was in. And that really carries all the way through to the end of the film. There's also a lot of real moments of connection, like brotherhood and bonding, even moments of tenderness and sympathy. And surprisingly, there's also quite a bit of humor sprinkled throughout as well. There's nothing crazy goofy or out of place. There's just enough levity to remind you that these are real human beings that are trying to just make it through this very horrific situation that they're in. And I think another thing that really made this movie hit hard for me was the atmosphere. There's this constant looming sadness that never lets up the entire time. From the very beginning, you are informed of how this story is going to go. There's 50 people walking, only one can survive. So the entire time you're getting introduced to this cast of characters and you're getting to know them. All in all, you're learning their stories, you're connecting with them. But, then you're constantly reminded,
there can be only one!
So it just hurts because there's characters that you enjoy and that you really resonate with, but ultimately their story is likely to end in suffering. That inevitability hangs over every interaction, every laugh, and every brief moment of hope. And I think that's where the movie's emotional punch really comes from. It's not just about the violence or the gore. It's about watching all of these lives unravel step by step. Speaking of which, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the horror. The violence is very harsh. It's abrupt. It's brash. It's not stylized or fun slasher kills. Definitely not something that you're going to hear your theater erupt in congratulations or praise. The deaths and kills, they're very raw. They're very graphic, and they're very hard to watch. Honestly, there were multiple deaths where I just ended up closing my eyes because I knew they were coming. I saw the first few, and I don't know. I do know why. We're not going to get into it, but just things that I've seen over the last few days, it just made it hard to watch this movie just because of the timing of things that are going on in the real world. So yeah, after the first few, I just was happier looking away. And I think all of these aspects together, like the drawn out scenes, the long conversations, the brutality of the death sequences, which I think lends itself to what they're doing in the movie, the actions that they're doing, which is walking for hundreds of miles. It's all very exhausting and grinds down on you. By the end, The Long Walk left me with this heavy, hollow feeling. It's very bleak, but strangely beautiful in the way that it handles the human side of horror. It's not simply about just watching the people die, it's about watching them fight and struggle to live for as long as they possibly can. And that is what makes it linger. This could be recency bias, but I would probably put this in my top 5 horror movies of the year. I'm likely going to read the novel after this just because I'm curious to see what are the things that were in the novel that obviously they had to leave out of the movie because it's a movie. You're not gonna be able to get all that information in, all that story in. So I'm very curious to see what it is I missed out on. I'm probably gonna love the book. So definitely gonna check that out. So that's my spoiler-free review for The Long Walk. If you've already seen it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.